We should bring you the update on this, though, that Forest are considering legal action over what they see as an illegal approach from Tottenham for Morgan Gibbs-White. We understand that Evangelos Marinakos is furious with how the move has come about, and Forest say they never gave Spurs permission to hold talks with him, and they're suspicious about a breach of confidentiality regarding his 60 million release clause.
Yeah, all of that won't happen. He'll go.
Yeah, it feels like it will still go over the line.
They can complain to the Premier League all they like. They've got a terrible relationship with the Premier League. I shouldn't think they're going to... I think that will fall on deaf ears. And
Very
if
true.
the player wants to go, he'll go. We all know that.
Yeah. Joining us now to go through it all is former Forest striker Rob Earnshaw. Rob, how are you doing?
I am doing excellent, thank you. How are you guys?
Yeah, really good, thanks. Really good. What are you making of this mini exodus from Forest with Elanga? And despite this legal challenge that Forest might bring about, like Andy says, it still seems that Gibbs-White might end up at Tottenham anyway. What do you make of it?
Yeah, do you know, I was, first of all, very surprised that Gibbs-White, the whole situation with Spurs in the first place, because I would probably imagine he's probably one of the last ones they would want to leave. He's probably the one they'll hold on unless a too good to turn down offer comes in. So, but I believe there's a £60 million clause in it that says, okay, you can go and speak to them. But of course, the update is now that, you know, they made an illegal approach is what they're saying at Nottingham Forest. So let's face it, they'll get down to the table, start negotiating at some point. That's what I believe. And to be honest with you, I think it would be devastating for Nottingham Forest to lose Gibbs-White. I think he's become such an important player, an excellent talent, and on top of that, he's also their captain, the leader, and he's still a young man with not reached his full potential. I still think there's more levels to him. So yes, they've lost Elanga in the last few days. Gibbs-White, if he goes, I think Nottingham Forest are in a position that they will really have to try and look at how do they replace them, because they're looking at now European football for the first time in 30 years. You've got to also build for that as well, because let's face it, the last few seasons, they've not had European football. European football in a Premier League season is way more games, way more challenging, and you need a depth of squad. But they need the first 11 right now. So difficult moment, but also at the same time, in a good position for Nottingham Forest in terms of, like, yes, they will get some cash if those players end up going.
Yeah, and it's interesting because at the moment it looks like they're going to be in the Europa League. They would have been in the Conference League, in which case they don't need as many players, and it's a much easier competition, as Chelsea proved last year. Europa League is a taxing competition, as we saw from United and Spurs, so that'll be interesting. But they have got players coming in. They've got some interesting Brazilian players. Their recruitment is good, and if you give them 110 million with a good manager that they've got, they could still be okay.
Yeah, listen, I actually think Nottingham Forest will be fine, because I think apart from their first season 3 years ago when they first came in, but they only had 15 players coming into the Premier League season. So they had to sign after their championship, almost surprised. It was a surprise that they got promoted, but then they had to sign players. They went for lots of players, made lots of signings. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. Some of them have moved on, and it looks a completely different football club right now to 3 years ago. But I think now they're in a position to tempt some better players, but also be in a position that, yes, we've got European football. We've just finished in that top 6 or 7 in the Premier League. We're rising. So I think Forest are in a good position. And listen, let's face it, Premier League, they finished in a great position, and now European football as well. So the club is huge. When I was there, you felt the gravity of the size of the club, and it's great. It's brilliant. So it's great for them to be in that European football stage. So I think they'll be fine, but they will need to make at least 2 or 3 signings.
I do agree with you, Robert, about Morgan Gibbs-White and being so central to them, because, you know, with their style, such counter-attacking football, he's usually the one with the long raking passes or bringing the ball forward. How much of a miss, though, do you feel that Elanga will be alongside that?
Yeah, I mean, when you break it down, when I look at Forest, they sat very, very deep. Murillo, left side centre back, Milenkovic, right side centre back, amazing. Great goalkeeper in goals. So that trio was central. They knew, and I've been in those positions where you know they'll keep a clean sheet, they'll take care of the things at the back. There'll be no problem there, and there'll be chances to break away. Gibbs-White was the one making those passes, and then you've got the speed of Elanga. So I think Elanga going is a huge miss because I think in the last 2 seasons he's got 20 assists. That's higher than the likes of Cole Palmer. That's in that top bracket. So I think he goes to a good team, Newcastle. You can't argue with that. But Nottingham Forest are in a position where teams are looking at them and thinking, are you now a selling club? Yes, you've done very well. Yes, you've got European football, but we're going to come and pick your top players. Unfortunately, that's it. That is Elanga. That is Gibbs-White. And, I think he leaves them in a rough position. But Elanga will be a big miss. Really, really big. Outstanding season last season. And the combination of Gibbs-White and Elanga playing together, I thought was incredible. Last season, I think is a big part of why Nottingham Forest did so well and finished really, really high in the league.
You can't compare Cole Palmer though to Elanga. Because,
no.
Only because Elanga.
I agree.
Only because Elanga had Chris Wood at the end of it. If Chelsea had a striker, he would have had a lot of more assists.
Listen, I do agree. Listen, I do hold Cole Palmer. I mean that in the sense of efficiency at the end of it. You know, when you've got a player that he's going to get assists, that's huge. So listen, as player for player, and I'm a football fan, Cole Palmer is in that top 1%. So it's hard to compare him.
Robert, just a quick one on your former club, Cardiff, as well, because it looks like a potential takeover is on the way, and Gareth Bale leading this consortium. It's only good news, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I actually think Cardiff City are way off. Yes, there's interest. Yes, Gareth Bale is at the head of a consortium, but I actually think it's far off a deal because I know Vincent Tan. I've worked for him, and I know he's a tough negotiator. And if there is a takeover, if Gareth Bale comes in with his consortium and says, listen, we want to buy the club, this is our offer, I think there's going to be quite a number of weeks of negotiation. But I do believe Vincent Tan will sell in the end if the price is right. But there's going to be a tough negotiation along the way. But listen, I know Gareth, a former teammate of mine, and I'd love for him to be at the center of that football club because I think he's a great role model, great player, great, real football person as well because he understands it. You know, he loves football, and it would be a great thing to have him involved. But I think it's a long way off right now. So I might have to come on and explain a little bit more later on. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, they're at the table at least, and I think that's a really, really big bonus because Cardiff going down last year, they will try and come back up. They want to come back up, and they need a re-energized football club right now in the next few months. So could it be Gareth Bale? I think that would be a real big positive.
Robert, thanks very much indeed for your time.
Yeah, good stuff.
Pleasure.
Great stuff. Robert Earnshaw there. Had a couple of texts, Andy. From a guy, Tony, who says Harvey Elliott would be a good shout for Forest to come in and replace Gibbs-White potentially at Forest.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And Harvey Elliott, if he does go, he'd be a great signing for somebody. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. He needs to play regularly.
Yeah,
he wants to play
definitely
regularly.
does. He's been linked with some moves to Germany, I think, as well.
Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs, Monday to Friday afternoons 1 till 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.